We got another little chapter here. I'm going to read a little and then we'll have a little monologue or dialogue. Um, Atomic human potential. Um, we are always composed of and surrounded by atomic particles that are, according to science, said to have tremendous amounts of potential energy that is capable of moving mountains. Atomic explosions uh, is an example. Jesus says that love and unification with God, coupled with faith, can move mountains. The existence of this omniversal atomic energy or spirit of God brings into awareness the limited thinking and activities that uh, general humanity is often confined. Some humans think outside the confines of public opinion and the limitations of human belief, not too far out for fear of an actual chastisement by their peers and the general population, and or our own public opinion conditioned conscience. Our straying from the imaginary boundaries of what is commonly thought possible is also limited by our conditioned fears and doubts. If we do have the energy available to us that is claimed, and there's no reason to doubt this, then our potential is practically unlimited, or limited only by possibly the laws of nature uh, and our understanding, faith, belief, imaginations, and participation. Not everyone is telling the truth who claims to, uh, colon, have power to heal, semicolon, read minds of animals, humans, and even plants, semicolon, have awareness of past and future lives, semicolon, see and predict the future, semicolon, visit other worlds or dimensions, or come back from the dead, um, semicolon, bend, lift, or move objects from a distance, semicolon, perform supernatural physical feats, semicolon, channel spirits, semicolon, return from the dead, etc. I repeated that. Um, but the potential for these activities, senses, or powers, and much more exists in the atomically charged omniversal energy or spirit of God. In the mysterious world of atomic energy that we are and are part of, these and greater, more diverse abilities may be our new standard of normal. Only someone who is ignorant of just how snail-brained even the highest IQ'd human genius is relative to the vastness of the omniverse or God could disbelieve the possibilities of human potentials amid atomically charged magnificence. One of the hobbies of this and future generations may be to explore the possibilities that are opened with the realization that the energy and potential available to us is not purely contingent on current commonly accepted physical and mental limits. We can, with a legitimate belief and or faith in our human potential, imagine more creatively and expansively the power uh, powers that are available to us in this atomically charged omniverse or spirit of God. Even provably grounded science has generated its own mysticism by breaking down myths and barriers that used to limit ordinary activities and thought. Scientific breakthroughs have demystified some myths while generating more mystery around what is beyond our current comprehension. Life is still mysterious within the scientific and rational realm, as each horizon explored exposes new frontiers. We have apparently infinite channels for scientific exploration into infinite space and relatively indefinable smaller and smaller divisions of matter. Given that nuclear energy is a relatively small scale, in a relatively small scale nuclear reactor can energize all home and business electric circuits and machinery, televisions, communication devices, and systems, computers, machinery, and lights in a city, it becomes apparent that this same energy on a global scale can produce and sustain life on Earth and liven up any or all common and yet to be discovered talents. The evolution of human knowledge and awareness are obvious, historically documented developmental phases that indicate we may continue, barring global catastrophe, to evolve or develop our potential in ways that may appear amazing to even the most open-minded persons of today. Harmonious loving union with the atomically charged omniversal energy or Spirit of God may not only be a social lubricant for expansion of human potential, but it may be necessary for its use. Being consciously or unconsciously antagonistic towards any or all parts of the omniversal God may limit the individual to the basic functioning of the human animal. Um, I have this at the end of the chapter, but it's not the end of the conversation. To avoid creating more verbal barriers to human potential, we will end this chapter with the simple introduction to relatively limitless human potential and let everyone begin their unique exploration of the vastness of what it means or may mean to be an atomically charged human immersed in an atomically charged omniversal energy field or Spirit of God or Holy Spirit. So the atomic human potential, um, the idea that all the miracles, any of the miracles that Jesus has committed or um, uh, performed, um, they're all back in 2,000 years ago. Nobody knew that there was atomic energy. We were surrounded by atomic energy. Nobody knew that our bodies were composed of atomic energy. And if you think of the little uh, little atoms being split and releasing energy, starting a chain reaction, and releases that much energy. And you think that when somebody heals somebody else, or walks on water, or um, calms a storm, or the potential energy that exists all around us. Um, there's a scientific support for miraculous activity, uh, and it's kind of a wonder why we have not um, we have not evolved into beings that are a lot more miraculous than we are. It seemed like that the potential for uh, living in miracles on a daily basis, a moment to moment basis, uh, with all the potential energy that we are and that we have available to us. Now, I brought up in that little reading that maybe God or the universe uh, puts limits on people who are barbaric or living like living in an animal existence, uh, ignorant of the potential. Uh, maybe we have to move towards the angelic or child of God, children of God, um, and loving God and seeing God everywhere, breathing, finding your love center, and uh, immersing in love with your Creator, your Sustainer, um, and that goes for the atheist or the religionist. Um, atheist has been created by the omniverse, um, and the religious have been created by God. They're both the same. They're both limited. omnipresent. The same presence is all around us. And and so Jesus again was a living example, or said to be a living example of what it means to be in harmony with your world, what it means to be in love with God, to have an intimate father-son relationship with God, to be able to walk on water and heal the sick and raise the dead, like Lazarus raising himself from the dead, or having God raise him from the dead. The miracles, again, just the idea of taking your finger um, that's kind of interesting, that kind of thing. And healing yourself. Let's go back to healing yourself. Breathing. I was just reading this thing about this hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Um, that there is a big deal that they're putting people into these little chambers and under pressure and filling it up with oxygen. But and then so they're claiming it heals all kinds of things that they have no idea how or why. I mean, maybe they do have an idea how and why, but the healing of a whole variety of different illnesses to oxygen, reoxygenating or over-oxygenating your system. Now, this is a new understanding of me. I've been aware of breathing in love, but I've also aging, and I would like to. I like the idea of breathing love and having that oxygen come in and improve my or slow down or modify my aging process and give me a little bit more of a lively uh, experience. I do know the euphoria of love is very good, even if my body is not young anymore. Uh, the euphoria in love is a blessing. Um, so tapping into this potential, it's part of the reasons I'm even making this video is to make people aware, bring people, because so many people are caught up in conflicts and politics and competition and contempt and judgments and social standing and uh, upper lower struggling for attention, love, resources. Um, it's it's people are squandering their lives, squandering their energies when with very simple. You don't need much to breathe. You don't need much to feel love, to be intoxicated with love, to have a constant buzz going on with love, and then to add into that while you're loving, because if we're gonna live a long life, or if we're gonna live in an afterlife, live forever, um, then it would be nice to have something to do. And if we have atomic energy, atomic spirit, atomic potential, then it would be nice to be able to have faith. I'm going to move from this chapter. I'm going to have another little chapter on faith and belief and creative visualization. And I'm going to take those two chapters and blend them together and discuss, the value of even placebo. They use placebos in scientific environments because they know believing in a medication, even if it's just a sugar pill, can heal some people. And that's just belief. And Jesus, again, that's another chapter. But believing that we have atomic energy, believing that we have atomic energy, believing that we have, I just repeated myself, believing that we have the potential, is what atomic potential. atomic energy, and therefore we have atomic potential. So the limitations on how high we can jump, like the world record high jump, was done by I think it's a Sotomayor in Cuba, 8 feet, or 8 feet and a half inch, which is a tall jump. But in theory, maybe it's not realistic, but in theory, with all this energy around, we may be able to leap tall buildings with a single bound, or fly, or certainly be able to. Uh, there's a lot more potential healing, reading minds, anything that you can think of, or even expand into things that nobody's ever thought of, because the potential exists. The big reason to bring this up is, one, to point it out, and then to start start. I don't know if it's a revolution or an evolution of uh, groups of people, or even being taught in kindergarten, or nursery school, that we have this potential, and then people live their life believing, in faith, knowing that they have this potential energy. And it also leads to the limitations that go on with somebody feeling sorry for themselves, or feeling like their life sucks or boring. In theory, there should be no boring moments. There should be no depression, because the energy that exists around us is magical. And if we are aware of it, and we understand it, and we believe it, because it's been proven, um, we believe that we have this atomic energy. We believe that we're not just ordinary. We're children of God. We're children of the omniverse. We're children of a majestic and amazing being, an amazing God, an amazing spirit, amazing. We have been created by, and we're being maintained by, as we speak, as we're sitting here. The rest of our body is being created and recreated, and healing, and changing, putting new proteins into where old proteins are going, just leaving. Minerals and vitamins and nutrients are all being organized and reorganized to make us make our bodies as our bodies, and keep our brain as our brain, and our senses functioning. So b- being in all this energy, it's a shame that there hasn't been a national, international interest in cultivating and developing humanity beyond the human animal. We have in some degrees, and some people have risen above the human animal into more godly and more spiritual or more lofty states. I'm not talking about financial success. Um, I'm talking about moral or spiritual um, loftiness. Uh, and then some people have fallen down below the animal. They're worse than animals. Animals at least live within the guides of natural law, or most of them do. Um, anyway, to move beyond animal humanity, barbaric, primitive, move into angelic realms, or godly realms, or realm fitting for a child of again, whether you're an atheist, or agnostic, or religious, you're in a magical realm of omniversal energy for the atheist, the omniverse. Again, I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know if I laid out the omniverse. The omniverse is everything, including what's behind black holes, what's in dark matter. It's if the universe is expanding, it's probably expanding into something. If universe started as a singularity. It must have started in the midst of something. That little singularity uh, was in something, was in a void, was in whatever that void was that the singularity was in. If I don't believe in the singularity, it's a little far-fetched. It's just an educated guess that because the universe is said to be, and I don't know if that's true either, uh, said to be expanding. Of course, there's people who either believe they have logical explanations that prove that the universe is expanding, or they're just imagining it and smoking some good weed. But even if it was a singularity, which God creating the universe by speaking it into existence, God had to be in something when He was speaking it into existence. The material, the planets, the stars, everything had to come from somewhere. It had to be somewhere. It didn't just had to draw in if it came out. It was made. It had to be produced. It had to be something bringing it to into existence. A planet, a star. Um, but either way, whatever the void of singularity was in, it was in something, and it expanded out into something. If it's expanding, it's going out into something. So the omniverse includes whatever the singularity was in, whatever God was in, whatever the universe is expanding into, it's going into something. The omniverse includes all that. And if there are alternate universes, which some people theorize about, they haven't proved it, but they theorize about it. I know you look at a black hole, which is supposedly eating up everything, and it all goes into it and disappears. That would indicate the possibility of an alternate universe that all the things are being consumed by this black hole or going somewhere, maybe. But anyway, the omniverse includes everything. There's nothing that exists known, unknown, going to be known. Nothing exists that isn't part of this omniverse. If you have a transcendent God, the God is transcendent. It's part of the omniverse. And I call the omniverse God. It's the creator of all things, everything that's been created, everything that's manifested, or everything that exists has come from and is part of the omniverse. And if God is omnipresent and omnipotent, all the power and all the atomic particles, and if God is omnipresent, exists everywhere, including inside the little protons and neutrons and electrons and quarks and gluons in an atom. Um, and if God knows all, then God must know what's going on in all those particles and all in infinite space. God must not only be present there, he must know and be aware of all this. The only thing that fits that is the omniverse. The only thing that fits the description of God, the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-present, um, and all-knowing creator of all things. Um, so anyway, we are part of this, and it's an amazing world we live in. Atomic particles, atomic energy is at our fingertips, literally at our fingertips. We have atomic energy that's, if you split the atoms into little piece of dirt on the end of my piece of skin you could, the amount of energy that's at our fingertip is, I think that was kind of interesting. At the fingertip, the energy at the fingertip is amazing. It's said that, I think I said this in one of my other videos, that it's been calculated that, estimated that the energy in a pound of matter is equal to 10 million tons of TNT, uh, or a kilo of matter would be 20, ish, 22 uh, million tons of TNT. It's a lot of power, small amount of like this mouse. It could be maybe a half pound, so there could be 5 million tons of TNT in here, and harnessed as we do in nuclear reactors. We harness this energy, and I think they're working on that's a fission uh, energy, and then they're looking at harnessing the energy in fusion, which is more powerful. It fusing nuclei together generates more power. Like a thermonuclear explosion is much more powerful than a fission. Uh, Fission is separating splitting a nucleus um, instead of fusing the nucleus. Uh, Generates a lot more power, and that's all that we know. We're relatively ignorant, uh, no matter how scientifically advanced we are. We're still relatively ignorant of what the potential is. There could be even more potential energy in all matter. But either way, as humans, we should not be limiting ourselves to the thinking that says we can only go, when you jump 8 feet, you can only jump a half inch or a quarter inch more, um, that you can jump 10 feet higher and break the world record. But just make sure you have a soft landing or you know how to land, because if you went 18 feet in the air, you could come down and it might not be a good experience. Anyway, the potential exists. Exposing the potential is important. Knowledge of an awareness of the potential, the nuclear energy, the atomic energy that exists all around us uh, is a start. But then realizing that we can be, we have to believe that we can heal the sick, walk on water, do things. Jesus was an example. He said that we could do um, even greater things than he did uh, if we align ourselves with God and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, the Holy Atomic Spirit, the Holy Atomically Charged Spirit. It does make it a Holy Spirit, like Holy Mackerel Spirit. It's that we are in an atomically charged spiritual energy field. It's amazing. Uh, all right, that's enough of my jabbering. This has gotten to become a half an hour video, and I'll move on and go for the next one about belief.